Hello, my beautiful souls. The Awakened Dreamer here to give you your daily tarot reading for Tuesday, the 8th of August, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. Do, of course, keep in mind this is general for the day for all 12 signs, so just take what resonates. But let's begin by using the spellcasting deck and see what we get. A Day of Mystery is what I'm hearing, and I did get... I was pushed to look at the Trust in the Great Mystery card from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck before I began. So we will see how that ties into the day. For my beautiful souls for Tuesday. What do we have for Tuesday? I'm getting a kind of a confused vibe that Spirit's giving me right now. A feeling coming over me. Key wording, but I do feel a sense of confusion coming about each of us, at least at one, if not several points throughout this day. But again, a push to trust the great mystery. For Tuesday. Okay, a focus on your career. Let's pull a couple more. Okay, we're actually going to pull one for each quarter of the day. So the beginning of the day takes a focus on your career, and then friendship. What else do we have? Now, that doesn't mean that you have to physically be hanging out or spending time bonding with friends, but I do feel friendship takes a focus at this point in the day in one way, shape, or form. Okay, let's see what else we get. Actually, we have them all. Bear with me. Okay, so that breaks down the day. There is an underlying focus on the passion that you have for what you're wrapping oneself up in throughout this day, potentially needing to remember why you're so passionate about something. A tarot reading that you're drawn to watch throughout this day for some, that's purposeful. Let's use these small everyday, okay, actually the light seers, to further clarify each quarter. You could be expecting the worst in one way, shape, or form, or there could be somebody in your midst who's expecting the worst. But let's see what we get. So you begin the day, and in the first quarter, horrible shuffle. You're going to experience somewhat of a focus on your career, whether that is you, going to work, running your business. You could be reviewing work. You could be some being noticed on social media. But I was just drawn to the rainbow here. Okay, I do feel like there's a focus on completion from the past or just moving forward. I do feel like you'll be quite happy and a bit peaceful when completing work or just reviewing it in one way, shape, or form. And look what we have once again. Because part of the reason why I got the expecting the worst message was from this one from another deck, but we got the Five of Cups. But I'm going to put it back because I feel as if you'll somewhat expect the worst, or you're picking up on that energy, or somebody in your midst is, but you do finish up the first quarter feeling quite rewarded or just fulfilled in one way, shape, or form. There's a feeling of growing through your work in the first quarter, potentially with the Judgment card being quite honest. The energy in the air may not be perfect, and therefore you could be a little bit nervous or just fidgety, potentially hard to sit still in the first quarter. But I do feel like you're changing, you're growing, and that's evident through your work, okay? Your career could be taking a big transformation at this time, but we need you to focus, buckle down, and do what you got to do in this first quarter so the rest of the day doesn't feel stressful or heavy in any way, shape, or form. But I do feel like you're thinking about a wish fulfillment when it comes to your money or when it comes to your career in one way, shape, or form. There's also just a need to keep the hope alive, to keep things positive or bring it on back to that way of being. Friendship. So I do feel like in the second quarter of the day, as we move on to wrap up the first half of the day, you're going to be thinking about a friend, okay? Spirit's going to plop a thought into your head, or you're going to have a vision or just a dream if you take a nap. Or you could be energetically connecting with somebody. You could be bonding with them in person for some, but for most I feel it's more staying focused but staying connected to them in one way, shape, or form. You're going to potentially scroll past some social media posts or pictures, videos, content that reminds you of them in one way, shape, or form, even if it's not of the two of you or the three of you, however that ends up working for you. But I do feel like there's going to be a push to close your eyes at one point for one reason or another. That'll differ from case to case. But I also just feel like you're reminding oneself in one way, shape, or form that you deserve friendships, connections, soulmates that add to the peace of your life. Don't strip it away all the meanwhile, okay? Let's see what else we have. For financial health, we have the Page of Swords. You could be given an idea at this point in the day from Spirit in regards to your streams of income or stream of income, how to make more money, right? Potentially a business idea. Or you could just be researching in regards to something you want to invest your money in. Say it's a car, a house, an apartment, a move of residence keeps coming into play. But your money and career takes a focus in the first half of the day in general, but it feels heavily focused on in the first quarter and the third quarter, so the beginning of each half. But I do feel as if you could be online researching. Okay, some select few drawn to the reading. There's a newspaper involved, but I do feel as if you are feeling as if you need to trust your intuition and that feeling is accurate. Okay, don't ignore it. Also, don't forget your experiences, the right choices, the bad choices from the past. That'll help you make the right choice when the time comes. But don't over research is now what's coming through. You could be thinking about or adding to your financial savings, potentially wondering if things are going to be stable or comfortable financially moving forward. And I do feel like in one way, shape, or form, the Spirit will clarify or just remind you. You'll be good, okay? You will be good. Wow, these aren't even straight. But I do feel as if there's a brightness about this part of the day for one reason or another, if you look at how this card is standing out color-wise. But we're wrapping up the day and the spread with blessings. Blessings. I do feel like you are reminded with the Four of Cups that when you reject what isn't meant for you or let go of what's not meant for you, however that works for you, individually, I just said you a lot. Interesting. You get the blessings you deserve. Okay. Evolving, your world evolving takes a place in this fourth quarter in one way, shape, or form. Again, that confusion is plopping into place, into play for one reason or another. But I do feel as if you are reminded that your world's changing, that you're evolving, you're transforming at this time, and that's beautiful, but it can feel a bit confusing, a bit all over the place at times. You could feel as if you're just all over the place with your schedule, but I do feel as if you're reminded to associate oneself with people, places, situations that are going to feel like a blessing, right? Remind you that you're a blessing and add color and peace to your life all the meanwhile. And again, not strip it away. But I do feel as if it's the end of the day where you are reminded of a future blessing or informed of a future blessing that feels quite, they're saying stepping stone-esque, okay? It's not everything you desire, but it's a move in the right direction or a step in the right direction, helping you remember in one way, shape, or form, from Spirit, of course, that you are elevating towards what you deserve, and that will come with a lighter, healthier, more peaceful feeling, okay? Obviously, it's going to differ from case to case, but again, we're thinking about or being pushed to reflect on what needs to be released out of preparation or just to make room for more blessings that you truly desire. They'll miss you, but don't need you in their physical presence. Interesting. I do feel like there's just a overly serious planning, accomplishing kind of vibe about the day, but not overly on edge for whatever reason, okay? Sure, again, the energy may not be perfect, but I do feel like things aren't completely on edge, which is good, okay? It'll give you the mental clarity or the mental space, the energetic space, I want to say, to, again, reflect or just figure out what needs to be released. But I do feel like for some, you're being put on stage, okay? People are noticing you, whether that's on social media, whether that's in person, you name it. I feel like for some drawn to the reading, it's your work, okay? You're being noticed, and people like what you have to offer. I'm hearing take a bow, okay? Take a bow. It feels like you're also being noticed for your transformation, for how much you're developing, how different you are, how special and unique you are, okay? There's no need to be the same as everybody else, but I do feel like there's a feeling of being watched over as well, for one reason or another. let the vibes speak for themselves, okay? For how you're feeling, other people's vibes. I feel as if you're being prepped to pick and choose who to associate with moving forward, or who to welcome into your bubble or into your situation, your life. Because I do feel like you're reminded you're going to be meeting a lot of new people moving forward, okay? Learning more about oneself through all of that. But I feel like you're also learning more about what you're going through individually on a soul level throughout this day, okay? Potentially also learning more about your career and money situation, but it feels like it all sort of intertwines with your soul evolution, okay? I'm hearing stay strong and just do what you got to do and keep it simple throughout the day, right? Even though it may feel a little all over the place once again, and kind of confusing, right? And so simplifying things for oneself and just putting it aside if you can't figure it out or just feel completely perplexed, and coming back to it. That's going to help you feel better about how things progress throughout this day, okay? But again, you're changing, and that's a beautiful thing. And this day points that out for more than one reason, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light, and I'll see you next time. Bye, my loves.